Have you ever looked at an object in your grandparents' house and wondered, why did they keep this? It's just an old thing. Maybe it's a tarnished silver spoon, a chipped enamel bowl, or a heavy hand-cranked tool you can't even name. We see clutter, but they saw something else entirely. They saw a story, a purpose, a quiet kind of security, a thick sock, a simple knife, a bar of plain soap. To us, these are displaced items. We live in an age of hyper-specialization, where every object has one job, and when it fails, we throw it away and buy a new one. Our solutions come from a store, delivered to our doorstep. Here's the secret. Our ancestors weren't preppers in the modern sense. They weren't hoarding gear for a hypothetical apocalypse. They were practiced. Their world demanded a different kind of intelligence, a fluency in the language of the material world. Their resilience wasn't packed away in a bug-out bag. It was woven into the very fabric of their daily lives, in the things they used every single day. It was a mindset of ingenuity, born from necessity. They didn't just own an object, they understood it, inside and out. They knew its strengths, its weaknesses, and its hidden potential. This video is for historical and educational purposes only. We're looking at cultural practices and the historical context behind common items, not providing instructions. The goal is to appreciate the ingenuity of the past, not to replicate it without modern safety knowledge. The real survival secrets aren't hidden in bunkers. They're hidden in plain sight, in the humble, the ordinary, the utterly simple. They are lessons in seeing the world not for what it is, but for what it could be. Let's talk about 5 of them. First secret, the indestructible light. Before the light bulb, people had a profound relationship with darkness. Night was a real, tangible presence, and they mastered it with one of the most reliable tools ever made, the beeswax candle. Now, I know what you're thinking. A candle? Really? But hear me out. This isn't the scented candle you buy at the mall. This is a piece of ancient technology, compared to a tallow candle made from rendered animal fat that smokes, sputters, and smells like burnt meat, or a modern paraffin, one derived from petroleum sludge. Beeswax was the gold standard. It was the clean, aristocratic light. Historical records from libraries to churches prized them. Why? Because a smoky candle could ruin priceless manuscripts or darken sacred art. They burn cleaner, brighter, and far longer. The light from beeswax is in the same spectrum as sunlight, making it easier on the eyes. And they have a shelf life of, well, forever. Archaeologists have found candles in ancient Egyptian tombs and Roman ruins that are still perfectly viable after thousands of years. It doesn't spoil, rot, or lose its potency. But the real magic was in its secondary uses. That beeswax was a cornerstone of the historical household pharmacy and workshop. It was used to seal preserves, creating an airtight barrier against spoilage for winter food stores. It was melted down to waterproof leather boots and canvas bags, a critical step before any long journey. It was the base for salves and balms to soothe chapped hands and cracked lips, a constant ailment in a world of manual labor. A beeswax candle wasn't just light. It was a multi-tool for living. It was preservation, protection, and medicine, all in one solid block. It created a calm, steady glow that didn't blink out with a power surge. It's light you can trust because it's light that has always worked. Second secret, the clay pot revolution. We run for plastic bottles, marveling at their convenience. Our ancestors reached for clay. The unglazed clay jug, or olla, is a masterpiece of simple physics, an invention so perfect it has been used for millennia across the globe, from North Africa to the American Southwest. Historical accounts from arid cultures across the world describe how storing water in a porous clay vessel allows a tiny amount to seep through to the outer surface. This moisture then evaporates, and through the magic of thermodynamics, it dramatically cools the contents inside. It's natural refrigeration without a single watt of electricity, keeping water refreshingly cool even under a blazing sun. And it does something else plastic never will. It improves the taste. Clay is a natural material, and it interacts with the water, filtering out impurities and smoothing out the flavor, removing the stale taste of stored water. Furthermore, in a garden, burying an olla next to a plant and filling it with water provides slow, direct irrigation right to the roots, a technique documented for thousands of years. This method is incredibly efficient, reducing water loss to evaporation by up to 70%. It's not a storage container. It's a living system. It's a partnership between human ingenuity and the laws of nature. It teaches patience and works in harmony with the environment, not against it. That's a different kind of smart, a wisdom that modern technology often overlooks in its quest for brute force solutions. Third secret, the one-tool kingdom. Every culture has its version, the pocket knife. But we're not talking about the modern one with 17 blades, a corkscrew, and a laser pointer. We're talking about the old two-bladed penknife or the simple clasp knife, often passed down from father to son. Its value wasn't in complexity, but in its universal application and utter reliability. It was the key to 1,000 small tasks that defined daily life. Whittling a tent peg from a fallen branch, preparing a fishing hook, cutting a piece of twine to bundle firewood, repairing a leather strap on a harness, or simply slicing an apple for a midday meal. It was the tool that fixed other tools. It was an extension of the hand, a physical manifestation of self-reliance. The historical lesson here isn't about the blade itself, but about the mindset. It was about having one supremely versatile, repairable, and reliable tool that you knew how to use for everything. You knew how to sharpen it on a smooth stone, how to oil its joint, how to respect its edge. It encouraged skill, not gear accumulation. You learned to make do with its simple perfection. That knowledge in your hand, that's the real tool. Fourth secret, the sock that wasn't a sock. Okay, stay with me. The humble wool sock. It seems almost comically simple, but in the hands of someone practiced, it was never just a sock. It was a piece of high-performance, multi-purpose fabric. In historical accounts, especially from travelers, soldiers, and pioneers, wool fabric was a first-line survival asset. A clean wool sock could be used as a water pre-filter, stuffing it with charcoal and sand to strain out large sediment before boiling. In a sudden cold snap, extra socks became mittens, protecting fingers from frostbite. They could be used as padding for a crude splint, as a wrap for a sprain, or even as emergency kindling, because wool, even when wet, can still catch a flame from a strong enough spark, unlike cotton, which becomes useless. The lesson of the wool sock is about reinterpretation. It's about seeing the material, not just the object. Wool is warm, even wet, because its fibers trap air. It's durable. It's fibrous. It's naturally water repellent and flame retardant. Our ancestors saw the potential in the material itself, so the object's purpose was always fluid. It could be a sock 1 minute and a tool the next. That's a powerful way to see the world around you, where everything has a secondary life. Fifth secret, the clean slate. Last one, the simple bar of plain soap, not the moisturizing scented antibacterial marvel in a plastic bottle. We're talking about the old, harsh, lye-based soap, often made at home from wood ash and animal fat. Historically, soap was a guardian of health, a revolution in human history. Its power to break down oils and grime was the frontline defense against illness in a time before antibiotics. Basic hygiene was the single most effective medicine available, but its uses spilled far beyond the wash basin. It was a true chemical workhorse. Grated into hot water, it was a powerful insect repellent for plants, disrupting the life cycle of aphids and mites. A concentrated soap solution could help in making homemade pesticides, a practice found in old farming almanacs. It could be used to lubricate a stubborn drawer slide, a sticky zipper, or the thread of a wood screw to make it drive easier. It was the original degreaser and cleaner for tools, breaking down pine pitch and grease. In a crisis of hygiene, a bar of simple soap is a peace treaty with disease. It's a declaration of intent. It represents order, cleanliness, and taking control of your immediate environment when everything else feels chaotic. It's a barrier, in the most fundamental sense, between sickness and health, between chaos and order. So there you have it. Light, water, a tool, clothing, cleanliness. The most basic human needs, met by the most basic human inventions. The secret wasn't in having a warehouse full of gear for a future disaster. It was in deeply, intimately understanding the few things you already had for the challenges of today. It was about seeing the potential hidden in plain sight and cultivating the skill to unlock it. This way of thinking turns consumers into creators. It transforms passive owners into active, resourceful participants in their own lives. Which of these humble historical items do you still use today, perhaps in an unconventional way? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.